Hi everyone, my name is Colleen Arnold and I'm a faculty counselor at Student Health and Counseling Services. This is a very strange time for all of us, and most of us have never been through a worldwide crisis like this. So it's normal to have a lot of different feelings about what's happening. The feeling that I wanted to talk about today is grief. You may have heard about people talking about grief in reaction to the pandemic and the sheltering in place. So what would we be grieving? We've lost routines. We've lost social contact with others. We've lost the structures of work and school. And I think we've lost a sense of security. Um, we've lost plans for graduation. We've lost plans for summer, maybe even for fall. We don't know yet. We've lost our sense that the future is semi-predictable. We kind of know what's going to happen and that we have some control over it. And of course, there's the loss of human life. And even if you haven't lost someone close to you, you may be witnessing the grief of others. So, why would we be having such strong feelings about losing routines? Well, routines help us feel secure. They make us feel like the world is predictable and we have some control. Losing all of our routines, even ones we didn't think we liked very much, can throw our sense of security and control off and make us feel lost and like we're floundering. So, what should we do with those feelings? The thing about grief is that there's nothing you can really do to make it go away. Experts say the only way out of grief is through it. So we need to go through it and we need to honor our grief. It means that something was important to us. The grief about the pandemic means that things like education and work and friends are important to us. So, what does honoring our grief look like? Well, for some people, it means talking about it. If you can find people who don't try to fix it or make it better, I think that that's probably best, even though people who do that mean well and they just want us to feel better. Sometimes it can feel like they're saying, stop feeling that way. And with grief, you can't really just stop feeling that way. Some people find that virtual gatherings and other live streaming platforms to connect with others help. There are gatherings that are meant to be happy and positive, but if you're in the throes of grief, those might not be very appealing to you, and that's fine. There might be times when those feel like a welcome distraction, and that's great. And then you might consider having a Zoom gathering with people you trust so that you can really just talk about what this feels like, what the issues are that you're struggling with. What's really hard about it. It's okay to talk about those things. So find some people you can trust to talk about those things with. One thing I'd like to challenge you with is the idea of acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean that we're okay with what's going on. It just means that we are accepting reality as it is. And we're looking at what we can control and letting go of what we can't control. So the thing is, if we get caught in thinking it shouldn't be this way, or I shouldn't have to do all this work online, my education shouldn't be this way, I shouldn't have had to lose all those things, it can end up making our feelings worse because it's kind of like thrashing around in quicksand. And as we all know from childhood cartoons, thrashing around in quicksand makes you sink faster. An alternate point of view may be to tell yourself, I really don't like online classes. I feel really sad about not seeing my friends. I miss them a lot. I feel sad about not being able to access campus resources. Having to find places to study in a crowded house is really tough. And this all really sucks. It really sucks. And this is my reality for now. So, what do I need to do? What can I change? What do I have control over to try to make this work for me? How can I take care of myself in this moment? Do I need to get some fresh air? Do I need to put on my headphones and ignore things? Do I need to talk to friends? You can check in with yourself and see what you think might feel best in these moments and what might help you get through it. Another way to express yourself, or another way to express grief is, besides talking, is music. Music can be really cathartic. I know that when a close friend of mine died, I made a playlist on Spotify and I titled it Grief. And I listened to it when I felt like I needed to honor how much I missed him. And that was really comforting. art. Some people find comfort in being creative. And even if you're not an artist, art reaches parts of the brain that talking and reading don't. And sometimes it's nice to be able to process your grief and everything you've lost with all the parts of your brain. So I think anything that can be creative, anything that feels creative to you can be good. What about ritual? Ritual is something that we do when we honor something we've lost. And I think that it's really important to think of some rituals right now. Schools are coming up with some creative ways to honor seniors who are graduating, for example. Is there a person you need to honor who you don't get to see as much? Is there somebody you've lost? Is it a postponed event? Is it the loss of what you thought the future was going to hold? Maybe think about some creative ways to honor what you've lost and ritualize that. So please be gentle with yourselves, and remember, we are always thinking about you and wishing you peace.